Hey guys, it's Dark Siege. I want to give you a quick update. We just completed about a day or two ago the Pass 4 Zone 5 battle, right? And I'm going to show you my gear real quick just to highlight what I'm rocking so it gives you perspective when I show you some battle reports and just show you where my kill points are at right now. Just a real nice, quick, down and dirty update. Here is my plug. If you're on a road trip to go camping, please like and subscribe. Okay, let's check out the gear first, and then we'll look over some battle reports. Here's Margaret. Margaret has my basic set. There's nothing going on, just the legendaries, right? Nice and simple. Bada boom, bada bing. Basic ring, basic horn, and rocking some feet. Okay, some stat numbers, right? Pretty basic. Nothing too crazy. John has everything the same, except he's got a crit health on this on the legs, right? So it gives him 4.5 more health and just a touch of march speed. So that's the only difference between the gear that they're rocking. I switched the gear recently after the fighting, but clearly John and Steven are better than Margaret and Bobber, right? Just in the fighting that I'm seeing, and it's very noticeable. And I'll go through and show you some battle reports, and you'll see why. Here's my best set, and basically everything is crit or expertise except for the feet here, and then the horn and the ring. Now the next horn I make will be my 5th one, so I'll get an automatic crit, and absolutely it's gonna go to my siege guys. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, you know what? Well, might as well just look at their. Let's go back. Okay, here's what they're rocking. 4.68, 6.1, and 1 all damage, and 6. That's pretty good, dude. Right? 5% more damage, 10% for that, 2.5 my skill damage, 5% extra damage when it rages over 70. Uplifting, I like this one, right? When you're in long battles, it can go 1% bonus to 5%, and then 3.5 health, and then sharp arrows, 4% boost to normal damage. Let's go back, look at John. Attack is 5.9, defense is 8.6, health is 5.9, and all damage is 1.7. Again, with the sharp arrows. Onslaught is more damage. Warcry is attack, which now, Warcry I think has a little more juice, right? Spirited, right, like the other one, does 5 extra damage when over 70 rage. Fearsome is extra damage, and Eclipsed is 2.5 skill damage more. And the last one is Gajamada, and Astute, Merciless, Sharpshooter, and Fearsome. So Astute is 10% boost to range, which is legit. Sharpshooter, the reason why I want to get the crit horn is because Sharpshooter, some testing was done. I think it's Bullet is how you say it, or Bullet. I'm not sure how he pronounces his name. He's the one that does all the math. He's freaking awesome. Another YouTube content creator, way bigger than I am. And he showed that you're kind of a turn behind when you use Sharpshooter, unless you have a crit horn, and that tends to help out a lot more, right? Just in general. Fearsome, 1 extra damage. And then there's Merciless, right? There's a lot of hate on Merciless, and I'm not saying the hate is unjustified. It's golden. It's cute. I rock it, right? I think there's definitely a spot for Merciless if you're going to use, if you keep in this formation, which isn't the best formation, but if you were to keep in this formation and do like a city garrison, yeah. But I mean, we're talking very specific circumstances. Overall, would I recommend getting it? Maybe not right now. I know the negatives of this skill 100%. I don't know. I'm just not going to change. It is me. Okay. Let's go check some battle reports. Okay, here's some battle reports. And I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of 200s, 300s, and 400s that I didn't post. And I would say on average, when things were slow, right? There's a lot of cheeseburgering and you're waiting around. I'm in the 300s and 200s. That's where that lies. When there's big fights, you'll see some big numbers. But I can tell you that I've gotten stronger KP reports, but not necessarily always stronger ratios. And so let's go through some of this. All right. Let me just quickly, you can glance at some of these numbers. And I kid you not when I tell you I had plenty of like 20%, 30% just getting whooped on. Like, I even made a comment that in one of my videos that, we prepare our stats and set up as if we're not going to get hit. But Jesus Christ, did I get thumped a lot, right? Probably a skill issue. I'm going to chalk it up to a lag issue. It's a skill issue. No, but let's just look at some of these numbers and you can get an understanding. Okay, I took screenshots of everything and then I found a couple of battle reports that were just left over. And so I'll run through these pretty quick. And again, like, I know I increased my weapon to 5, right? I did 4 and 5 upgrade. And then I think I maxed a couple things out during the off season. So I don't know if that had a big impact, but I can tell you now the biggest impact was having 400 and change thousand troops, right? I've never had that many troops. And I can tell you that made a big difference. My KP numbers were up way higher. And I'll show you where I'm at. I think I'm at 16, million kills right now, like whatever it is. Okay, so let's go through this. 8.2, 6.8 at, 411 at 6.8, 270 ratio at almost 4, right? 248 at 4 million, 407 at 7.6, 781 at 6.3, 523 at 2.8, 638 at 4.6, 875 at 5.6, 478 at 2.7, 542 at 3.3, and 226 at 3.8, 621 at 3.2, 678 at 5.8. You'll notice that Gaja and Gonzo are way higher in all these, right? 465 at, a little 544 dump. 541 at 1.4. 484 at 475. Not sure if you can hear the helicopter go by. 661 at 5.5. 576 at 1.7. And then 347 at 2.3. 719 at pretty much 3. 768 at 8.1. Oh, that's a good one. 640 at 3.3. And then I took a screenshot to show you that, I got beat up a little bit. And 2 of those are my cav march. And I was chasing after somebody at the same time when I was doing that. But I just wanted to show you. These numbers on this one is very consistent with what I saw during the slow periods, right? Where you're just grinding through things. That was 114 at 152, right? 189 at 125, right? Like, this is pretty common, and it usually doesn't make the highlight reels of any content creator. But I think it's important to show you because when I show you that I get 8 million kill points and it's like a 7-800 ratio. You're like, damn, dude, I'm gonna do that all day long. This is easy. That's like the rarity of the fight. A lot of it is like this, where you are grinding the KP. I think I mixed up here Margaret, and I believe that's Steven. I always get the names mixed up between the two new ones, but like it's hardly getting anything right there. A little better there, right? But the grind, and this one's pretty good. I mean, look at those guys getting 1.7, 1.4, 6.8. Like they did good. Like you can tell that was probably a longer fight. Long fights, John and Steven did very well. Short fights, average, right? Still better than Margaret and Bobber. And then here, 8.2 at 5.58. And then, I mean, but if you get a long fight, Margaret and Bobber will still put up some numbers for you, right? Like they're not worthless. They're just not as good as the other team, and they have the best gear, right? And Margaret and Bobber, they just have the average legendary gear. Look at John got whooped on. Yeah, 0. You can see. You look at the little graph, and it goes along, and then wah wah wah. Right, that's how you get a 72. It's also how you get a 93. And then we go up to like the 300 here at 1.3, and then at 563 you got 4 million, and then 2 million at 137. And I could tell you I had two different feelings during the fights. When they were long fights, solid, did really, really well. And you'll see that's when we typically highlight Siege gameplay is like, hey man, we were whooping ass here. And I'm going to try to make a conscious effort to show you how difficult it could be at times and showing you the bad reports because there are plenty of them. But you kind of feel in some ways like, hey, I'm a shitty Siege player if I show you bad reports. And we tend to hide our weak spots. But I'm telling you, if you don't have a ton of time to grind out the KP, Siege is not for you, man. It really isn't. It's a great supplement when it's in the back and you have field marches in the front. But even that's hard to do, man, because sometimes that ball just shifts and, maybe they flank you from the side and all of a sudden you get the GTFO. You got to get out of there and your range march just gets squished on, right? Right, let's see what else we got going on. Okay, just to kind of wrap it up, showing you I got 16 million kills, and normally at this point I have about 10 to 11 million kills. So I think the increase in numbers is what has made this difference, and so far it's been a pretty big difference, right? And I maybe there's a little bit to the upgrade of gear, but I'm very certain it's those 400,000 troops plus, right? And then everybody else is 400,000 troops plus out there, right? There's just more meat to pick off, right? So if you want to see some battle footage, I have two videos I put out on gameplay, and you can watch it, check it out. But I just wanted to give you a quick glance at my gear, some battle reports, and I did a video about how I set my ruins up and my buffs that I think is pretty informative, especially for Siege. I would check that out. And then I talked about another video I did on Ruincraft. And I think this is just awesome. And I have a couple going right now. I have AP for all those that want the AP. And then heals because, I'm licking my wounds from my battles. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little update on what's going on after the first pass opening. Range rocks.